Well, good morning, fellow creators. For the first time in weeks, I am here, present in the studio. It is not even 7:30 in the morning, Saturday, the February 25th. And man, am I in a good mood. So, a lot of stuff to do. Painting over there to work on. Other things, I got wire paintings. I got all this other stuff to do. So stick around because I'm doing this, and I gotta figure out. I have to record a regular art video today too. So that's first thing on the list. Okay, all that stuff aside, let's see what we got. Right. So yesterday, after work, I went grocery shopping. I probably should fix the camera here a little further back so my head's not cut off. Went to the grocery store. Was in that strip mall where the grocery store and Michael's is, and I'm like, I don't really need it. I mean, I have a list, but I didn't bring the list with me, so I don't know what I need. But I'm like, okay, what can I get that I know that I need if I think about it enough? Well, one thing that's running low, not out yet, but low, is my carbon black high flow. I'm like, well, they don't have a big one, but they've got a little one. So I can get a little one and put it in there. And I told myself when I walked in the store, you're only allowed to buy one thing. Just one thing. I picked this one thing up. I'm standing in the paint aisle, and then some other customers were talking, and they said, oh, there's this canvas sale. And I look at the thing, buy one, get one of equal value. And I was like,
get the fuck out of here. No, I cannot. It's serious.
Do I need more canvas? No. It's a good opportunity to get two big ones. I almost went really big, but I decided against it. Well, really sort of big. So I got two gallery wrap 16 by 40s. Nice big ones for the gallery space. So, you forget the fact that I gotta finish all these splatter ones. So, first things first. Let's transfer this ink. Part of the other reason why I did this, I also didn't think about this till I got home, but when you shake a thing of ink, there's a mixing ball in it. And I emptied a high flow recently, and I was like, let's actually look at what the mixing ball is. Because it's like, is it a steel thing or is it not? It is a tiny little glass ball bearing. And I'm like, well, if I can get that, I can use the ball bearing in the other, the ink thing that I need. And I was like, got home, and like, wait a minute, I had emptied one recently, so I already had it. But this is going to stay as it is, and we're just going to use the black one, even though I'm going from yellow. I'm going to be going into a yellow one, so it makes sense to not use the black one. But whatever. I can afford to not have all of that paint out of there because I'm just mostly just looking for the ball. And that refills that actually back up to pretty close to half, so that's good. I still want to get another one later this year, but the rest of that can wait, and I can fish the ball out of this now. Okay, now that the little black bottle is empty, I can fill it with whatever later, which is awesome. Now I got a little glass ball bearing. Now, I don't know if they use the same little tiny one in the big bottles that they do in the small bottles. But I think, I guess they probably use a little bit bigger of one. I just really just test it, really. Yeah, that sounds bigger than this does.
It's not the size that counts, it's how you use it.
Here's the thing. When I finished off, or at least mostly finished off, my Liquitex acrylic yellow in the jar, I used as much as I could with that and some other liquid mediums and stuff to make a liquid cad yellow with the leftover stuff in the jar that I couldn't scrape out. So I have this. And it does not have a ball in it, and this is the whole point of this, is to get a ball to put in this now. You might be thinking, what happened to the ball that was in there in this originally? There actually wasn't a ball in this originally, because I don't think this was a bottle of paint. I think this was a bottle of medium. So now, yeah, this is definitely a lot smaller ball than what's in the other ones. But now there is a mixing ball in here, which is going to make this a lot more usable. So, that was my finishing up that project from yesterday. All right. Right, I might do that. Actually, I might save that. future sneak peek. A lot of people have been asking for more quick art projects after that salsa jar one. Doing a light switch cover next. I'm gonna do something video game inspired for my my office and game room, but I need some time to think about what the design for that's gonna be. All right, let's look at the art video list. So the one I've been thinking about all week is 5 ways to sharpen a pencil, but I can only think of 2. And it's non-pencil sharpener ways. You know, so that's probably not going to happen. Then there's the color theory, color and mood video, which I might be able to do this week. There's a how to be an artist, but I'd rather save that for an off week. Oh, that one's almost fully fledged. That's a 5 things that I do have all the 5 things of. 5 ways to level up in 5 minutes. That's a misleading title because it's like you're not going to level up in 5 minutes. It's the 5 minutes is the name of is how long the video would be. 5 things I have in the studio that have a story, and there's only one on the list. I mean, there are more. I just have to think about it. That one would be fun, but less informative.
Just fucking pick something!
Oh, that one. Yeah, I'm doing that one. That'll be longer. But I'm really overdue for a nice long one. Oh, that one. Oh shit, that would be good too. That would be shorter and also good. I don't know. Maybe those 2 back to back for weeks. I'm not telling you what they are because obviously that would give it away. Actually, I can. This vlog will come out the week after. So or whatever. The 2 are an updated color wheel versus this one, which I did do on the channel. But it's only kind of eh. And then the other one is another awesome Art Tools one, which is the acrylic paper, which I do have. I bought some a little while back because I'm like, I want to highlight stuff. I haven't had any for a long time, so I got some. Yeah, you know what? If I do acrylic paper first, and then use the acrylic paper for the color wheel the next week, or the weeks in between. So last week from when you're seeing this video will be acrylic paper, and then next week's from when you're seeing this video will be the updated color wheel. I like that idea. We'll do that. All right, now because acrylic paper is somewhat common, but it's also one of those ones that I imagine most people, at least watching this, probably haven't really seen or haven't really picked up. I do want to at least have a look at what other people have said about them, so I know my video can also be equally as informative, but still different. I don't want to repeat. I don't repeat information that's already out there. Mostly just looking at those top videos and everything. Maybe someday the video I make will be on that top list. Who knows? It's happened before, but you know. It's also different. Finished recording that, got the B-roll, did a 10-minute painting. I get the feeling I should be able to cut this down and time lapse it and throw it up on the short media socials. I bet that'll do really well. Right, so acrylic paper. All right, take this and this. This and this. Now I can get started on the bigger piece. I think part of the issue with the big piece, my head's really cut off, I'm sorry, is that this bridge down here that I started, I did this whole thing live, so if I haven't already linked the live show to the first part of this, remind me in the description box. This I'm dreading. As soon as I put them, I'm like, this is great, I'll put all these bricks in here, I'm like, this is going to be an absolute nightmare to paint. I've been dreading this. But the rest of this piece is does need a little more work still. I've got trees to highlight here, and here. All of the water and the vast majority of this I'm going to glaze over with some yellow to give it more of a glow. And then probably push some darks in on the edges. And then once I do that, it's really just going to be about doing all those bricks. So it shouldn't be horrible, especially considering how small the bricks are too. I can just do most of that with a single stroke of a brush. So it won't be terrible, it'll just be challenging and time consuming. And I'll probably put it back on my table when I do that too. But yeah, so there's really not a ton left to do on the big side of things. It's just going to be it's detail work. With the exception of the glazing, it's all just detail work. Luckily, I'm motivated today, so I'm going to get started. Okay, so I didn't record anything while I was working, mostly. Still have a brush in my hand here. Sorry about that. I was really in the zone, and I did not want to break that. I'm still really in the zone, but I'm pretty happy with this now. With where I was, I got the trees all highlighted and shadowed. I got to put the glazes in the way I wanted them. Into the water lines. Mostly what I'm doing is all been liner work stuff, liner brush stuff. So being able to grab just a slightly bigger brush for this is going to be nice. But yeah, it's when you get to that point in the piece where you know it's just like 1 foot away or closer time when you really have to put in that dedicated time, I should say. It's kind of what I've been dreading for the past couple of weeks. I've been wanting to do bigger things, big brush strokes, bigger swaths of color, and what I need to do is get in and finish some detail stuff. Also, side note, I was talking to a artist friend of mine last night, who I haven't spoken with in a long time. So I reached out to the local community because I was like, I need, or want anyway, some new headshots. Because the last time I had any done by a professional photographer was like 12 or 13 years ago. And I was looking at the one, because I think my personal email, it's like my, it's my picture from my personal email. It's like the 13-year-old one. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I really don't look that way anymore. I have a lot less hair, among other things. So, and I don't even know if I had the beard back then. I probably didn't. I think I probably just had the chin thing going at most. So yeah, getting something that is updated for a lot of these art shows and things, as well as the website. Because I can sit the camera on the tripod and kind of get some studio shots, but if I can, bring somebody in the studio that I know and trust and who's a decent photographer, which is a very narrow pool of people, and get at least like a dozen really good ones would be nice. And in the post, I was like, I have kind of a limited budget, but I do want to pay somebody fairly. And he was like, do you want to give me a couple pieces of art in exchange for payment? And I was like, I can do that. That's the cheaper option. And I'm like, I got to limit you on size a little bit, but and obviously probably wouldn't give him anything that's for the upcoming show. But I definitely have a closet full of paintings I can get rid of. I'm like, hey, the barter system. So we'll be setting that up sometime, probably before the end of April. But that was really cool to have him reach out. I mean, I reached out to the community and said, hey, whoever wants to do this, DM me. So yeah, he's a cool dude, and so being able to jump back into. Well, one, to be able to talk to him again, but also, bartering my way through by paying somebody with art. I'm like, that I can do. All right. I think I can stop working on the backdrop for this, or like the main part of the piece. I can go to the foreground bridge. And, yeah, do that. Okay, so I painted this much of those bricks, and thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing it. For two reasons. One, I really don't want to do them. And because I've been dreading it for 2 weeks, and I still don't want to do it, I think I can make the decision to not do it. It's my painting, I'll do what I want. Also, given the fact that the bricks would, I think in a lot of ways, because of all the detail, draw the attention too much to the front and bottom of the piece rather than the whole piece itself, I think that would be a bad thing to do. So, I do still have some paint mixed up. I got a nice big batch of gray color. I'm going to add some additional mediums, which I haven't done in a while. Oh, I have the coarse gel. There we go. Coarse molding paste. I'm going to add this to it, make it really gritty, and make it pop out way more. So it'll be physically it'll pop, but visually it'll still kind of fall, especially because it's so far away from the light, so it also doesn't make sense to make it super bright either in detail. So, we'll grab a knife. No! And make some big decisions. Yeah, see this level of texture is really cool because it now makes it, rather than looking built, it looks carved out of this stone, which is really, really neat. As long as I keep kind of making sure it's not quite all vertical or all horizontal strokes, sort of just a little bit of both to kind of get at that molded look. Though I just realized since my figures are going to be on this bridge, they are also going to need to be a lot thicker than usual. So there's that. Okay, well, now that I've slathered this with paint, I have to stop because this will not be dry for hours. So, I'm just going to scoot that back and not touch it for a while. And it's actually before noon. It's weird for me to stop in the studio before noon, but I have been down here for 4 hours? 4-ish hours. More so than I put in the past few weeks anyway. So, I do have some other art stuff to do. I gotta wire some canvases, I've got some art budgeting stuff to do, and I've got some, I haven't done any inventory of new pieces in my work in like 6 months, so I'm way overdue for that. So, because this is also, it's before noon, so there's a good chance that I might get the weekly video edited and uploaded on time for the first time in months. So, I'm going to try and do that. So, thanks guys for checking this studio vlog out. By the time you guys see me in a vlog again, I probably will have this piece done. So look for it on the Discord server if you want to see what it looks like when it's done. Actually, come to think of it, it's probably going to be done before this vlog even goes up, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah, so I'm actually starting to get pretty hungry too, because I never eat breakfast on studio mornings, but I could use a little something. So, breakfast, video edit probably then breakfast / lunch. And then, yeah, other boring adult stuff. So, thanks guys for checking this vlog out. This has been reminding you to keep on creating. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Check out the Discord server for completed stuff. And, keep on creating. I'll see you guys next time. One of these days I'll get this right.